from voice-over-training.org, which is a resource. It's a place that's rich with information and resources and tools to help you grow your voiceover business, your voiceover career, your voiceover talent. And so if you haven't been there yet, if you're not signed up, sign up on the website now so that you can receive updates and information and special offers. All of that at voice-over-training.org. Today, I want to talk about a very important topic, and it's about building the foundation of your voiceover career and of your voiceover business. And I think it's probably fair to say that you, generally speaking, understand the importance of a strong foundation. You never build a house on dirt or on sand or on mud. You have to have a strong foundation for that house to stand over time. And I'm reminded of, as a small child, being in Sunday school and learning the song about the wise man that built his house upon the rock and the foolish man who built his house upon the sand. And when the rain came and the winds came, the house came tumbling down. Maybe you remember that story as well. Well, there is a great truth underlying that, and that is when you build anything, whether it's a house or your life or a business or a career, that you need to make wise decisions early on so that what you're building will, for one thing, grow, which is important, and number two, once you've grown it, that it will stand. And building, and I'm talking in this case about building a growing and sustainable voiceover business and voiceover career. I talk to so many people whose biggest frustration is that they're able to periodically get work. Some people are not able to find or get work at all. Others who get it periodically, but not enough to sustain themselves. Or others who 15, 20 years ago had a very successful career as a voiceover talent, but today find that the rules of the game have changed dramatically, and that the foundation that was built 20 years ago is not something that they can build their career on today, and they need to rebuild, but they're not sure exactly how to do that. So let me talk again about the importance of the foundation. Right now, for instance, one of the voiceover talent that I'm coaching and consulting. One of the things, and when I work with a voiceover talent, this is something that I continuously beat this drum loud and long, and that is that you have to do the proper activities, and the proper activities can be a grind. Contacting the right people, looking in the right places, sending out marketing communication. It's a grind. This is not the sexy, glamorous part of the voiceover business. But the glamorous part, the fun part, does not come unless you do the hard work on the front end. And when I'm coaching him and I'm talking to him, I'm constantly telling him, don't get discouraged, because it can be tiring, it can be discouraging. You can go for days, you can go sometimes for weeks without receiving any positive feedback, and you're wondering, am I doing the right thing? But if you're doing the right activities and you're building the right foundation, it will pay off. And just recently, like within the past week, he just picked up a really great promo gig for a very large television network, which was very exciting for him. And then I just received an email from him over the weekend telling me that he was just listed with another production company as one of their stable of talent. And so he was very excited. But the point was that he would have never gotten to that point had he not done all of the front-end work that he's been doing to get there. Let me give you one other illustration. I'm often told by people, I've auditioned 50 times on Voice 123, and I haven't gotten a job yet, or I've sent out 100 emails and I haven't gotten a job yet. It took me 100 auditions through Voice 123 back when I was with Voice 123 years ago to get my very first job. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. And it doesn't mean you're bad necessarily. It doesn't mean that you suck or that you don't know what you're doing. It just means that you have to play the numbers. And if you've had any background in sales, when I say you play the numbers, you understand exactly what I mean. And if you don't have a background in sales, what it means is simply this. If you have enough activity, if you're stirring up enough dust, if you're doing enough of the right thing, the numbers will play in your favor, meaning that it might take 100 phone calls, 100 emails. And I'm just using this just as an example. I'm not saying that it will necessarily be that way for you. It may be fewer, it may be more. It may take you 20 auditions, it may take you 100 auditions, it may take you 200 auditions to get that first job. But what you're doing is you're building a foundation, and you're doing the activities that it requires to get to where you want to go. And then you'll find that as you get better and you become more refined and more experienced in what you do, those numbers tend to get better and better. So what you get is a snowball effect. And here's, again, a very concrete example. Recently, I started another marketing communication campaign where I'm reaching out to video production companies, and hundreds of these communications have been sent out. I mean, hundreds, like we're up to maybe 300 or 400 over the past month, and nothing had happened. And I have somebody who's helping me with this, and and he's working on a commission basis, and I'm sure he was very discouraged by this. And I said, don't worry. Don't worry, because it is a numbers game, and if we keep doing the right stuff, and I knew we were sending it to the right people, and I knew we were using the message itself had been crafted very carefully to get the job done. Well, what happened this past week? But it finally began to pay off as I picked up my first new client from this latest marketing communication campaign. And the first job alone pays to $2,500. Plus, it's a client that will be sending me ongoing work. Now, it doesn't always work that way. It could have been a job for a couple $100. That's not the point. The point is, when you're building a foundation, you have to, number one, choose the right activities. And then you have to do those activities in the right volume. And then number three, you have to do them consistently. And if you do that without without giving up, because you get tired, you get weary, you get frustrated, but nothing worthwhile is easy. Keep that in mind. The voiceover business, it's not easy. But the other side of the coin is it's not complicated. It's fairly simple, but it's a matter of doing the right things in the right amount over the right period of time. And what you'll find is you have built a foundation that will stand, so that when you begin to generate your voiceover income, what you'll find is it's a snowball effect that continues to grow and grow faster and faster, and it doesn't disappear after a year or two or 3 or 5 or 10. And I'm very excited that my income has continued to grow year after year after year. And as a matter of fact, it's growing faster now than it ever has before, with no signs of slowing down. But it's because I built a proper foundation, and I continue to build on that, doing all of the right activities in the right amount over a period of time. And I don't allow my frustration or getting tired to stop me from doing the right activities. Now, if you're watching this saying, okay, I buy into that, Bill. I understand the concept of foundation. I understand the concept of doing the right activities. And, what are those activities? Well, that is a very long and in-depth discussion. And as a result of the number of people who have asked me for information about how I've gone about doing that, I have created a very in-depth program called the VoiceOver Playbook. It's about 4 hours of video tutorials that goes into great depth and detail explaining exactly how to go about building that foundation, the right activities, who to contact, what to say, and how to do that and sustain that over a period of time until you begin to grow your career and your business in a way that is very substantial and continues to grow month after month, year after year. And you can find out more about that by visiting this website, voiceoverplaybook.com, voiceoverplaybook.com. But regardless of whether you go there or you use that tool or not, keep in mind that you have to build a foundation. And the foundation takes time, but you have to have a plan, and you have to do it consistently over a period of time, and it does. I'm here to tell you, and I'm living proof of this, and the talent that I work with are living proof, that it does work. And you just have to keep moving forward, and watch the momentum grow as you go. I do wish you all the best in your voiceover career, and I appreciate you checking out this video, as well as I've got over 100 YouTube videos on this channel, VoiceOver Expert. I hope you find them to be helpful and empowering and inspirational and everything that you need to move your voiceover career forward.